Hey everyone! In today's tutorial I'm going to do a snarky birthday card featuring the Stampin' Up! Big on Birthdays stamp set and this hilarious sentiment. I'm pairing this with Hero Art's Irreverent Birthday Messages stamp set, and I'm going to be using this OMG You're So Old stamp, which also cracks me up. My friend Leslie would love this card if she was still with us. So I'm using the creative corners to line up this skinny little sentiment so that I get it straight. I just put this edge on the side ruler of the Misty and then make sure that the stamp is lined up tight against the ruler so that it's straight. And then I can just move the ruler itself up and down until I get the sentiment exactly where I want it. So once it's stuck, I'm going to bump it up just to the middle of that opening. And I don't have the cardstock glued down yet. This is just to give me an idea where I want this sentiment. You can go ahead and pick it up with the lid of the Misty while the rulers are still in there. I love that. So you don't have to worry about bumping it. And then I'm going to take these top pieces away and I will stamp this sentiment directly onto the card base in black ink. And it will just live in that little gap in between the two other top pieces of the card, which will be popped up just a little bit. This cracks me up. I'm always on the lookout for snarky, funny cards and stamps. There's a company called Two Lips that makes hilarious snarky sentiments for cards. But I'm trying to figure out who I'm going to send this to. My sister's birthday is coming up in April. She's getting pretty old, so it might have to be her. So I'm going to clean off this stamp and we're going to move on to the second part of the card. I've sped this up a little bit. I am doing an ombre inking technique. These are super easy to do in the Misty. And I'm using the magnetic creative corners just to secure my card in the corner. You definitely don't want to be off on this design because I'll be stamping it many, many times. The top color of ink is Pacific Point. The middle color is Tempting Turquoise. And then the bottom color is Pool Party. So I'm just sort of moving through the blues a little bit. And this design is just so fun. It's almost like a coloring book style design. So you could also color the little flowers and leaves around the design if you wanted to stamp it in black. But I wanted to make a pretty blue sparkly card to go with the pretty sentiment. In the South, we say, "You're so pretty," or "Your hair is so pretty," if we're trying to tell somebody that they're a little bit of a dingbat. What's funny is, though, most people think you're just telling them their hair looks nice. So you kind of get two jokes for the price of one there. So when I saw this is a very kind of Texas saying. And I appreciate the humor. I think the world needs to lighten up just a tiny bit. So for the top strip, I didn't want it just white. So I'm using the same ink colors to just do some ink blending on the top. And then I'll add a little design element to that too, because once I put that down on the card, it's still just a little bit too plain, even with the color. Although I do love these three colors blended together. So what I'm going to do is use another element from the Big on Birthdays stamp set. And first I got to clean off this one and put it away. And while you're watching me clean this, if you're wondering, why doesn't she see that ink all over the lid of her Misty and clean it off? Please know that I'm wondering the same thing, watching this. No idea. I get sort of blind when I'm stamping to little details like that. But there is sort of a floral bow image in this set that I thought would be pretty on top. It echoes the florals in the main design. And I'm going to stamp on top of this with Tempting Turquoise. I thought black would be too heavy. And first I actually went over the stamp with Wink of Stella before I stamped it in turquoise. And you'll be able to see a little bit of that sparkle as I put the card together. So I'm going to do my super fast dimensionals again. I like a lot of dimensionals when I'm popping up big pieces like this, just so that the card doesn't sag a little bit. And then I will adhere this to the top of the card. And I think that's just enough design that it doesn't take away from the focal image. Then I'm using some Hero Arts Mermaid sequins. These were from one of my monthly hero kits, that Midsummer Night's Dream, I believe. And some Ranger Multi-Matte Medium, just little dots of it to attach the sparkly little sequins. I'm trying to go for the ones that are sort of green-blue, because there are also some purple ones in this set. And there is the finished Snarky card. Thank goodness you're still pretty. Thanks so much for watching.